in Graylaw.
Hey,
how's everyone?
Hello.
Good.
I'm so excited today. We have Cristina Perez Gonzalez joining us.
I used to be part of Graylaw.
Absolutely.
I guess I always will be part of
You're
Graylaw.
always part of our family. For our monthly YouTube segment, and who better to talk about O1 visas and EB1 visas than
Yeah.
Cristina, Extraordinary Ability Visas. And you've been busy, girl, since you left Graylaw, huh?
I've been very busy trying to
Yeah.
follow your footsteps.
Oh.
Practicing the same as what Graylaw does, a lot of professionals and green cards and non-immigrant visas. Everything we did, but in Glendale.
You've done extremely well. The California law firm, and you're specializing in entertainment, sports, and business.
Yes.
Same thing
Definitely.
we do,
Yes.
and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. So
And
you know
also-
how grateful I am to you.
Oh.
You're the one who opened the door and taught me everything I know about immigration. I improved it a little bit though, but
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you
I'm
have.
just kidding. No, honestly.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
that.
So you've also become a television star
Yeah,
since leaving
I guess,
Graylaw.
if you can say that.
I mean, you have, Christina's Court with
Mhm.
Fox, and you won not one, not two, but 3 Emmys.
Yes, I
Are you
did.
serious?
Isn't that amazing?
That is
Our girl.
fantastic.
That's right.
I think
Yeah.
it's the ultimate collaboration of people who love the law and love people, and I think that's what those Emmys represent to me, because the law is what makes us all tick and what helps us to help people, and it's storytelling, which is what's the most amazing part of the law that people forget about.
That's fantastic. And you're publishing books.
I am.
Your latest book, Red, White, and Latina.
RedWhiteAndLatina.com. Check it out and buy one.
All right. Tell us a little bit about that.
It is a book that I think after these elections, and it wasn't necessarily written in preparation for the elections, but it's a book that, it's about identity. I think that we have to, it was such a turbulent and an ugly time in America. It still is. Even, a couple days ago when, is it Andrew Jones, playing the Red Sox, how would that ever happen that somebody would call him a racial slur? That's not my America. That's not the America that we grew up with, and certainly not the America that I want my daughter to grow up in. So I think that we kind of have to find a way to find some common ground, and I think the book is just that. It's just very openly talking about, you could feel this way and I can feel this way, but what about respect?
And
Use
certainly
respect.
these days with, immigration divisiveness.
Oh, exactly.
And politics, I mean, our country seems to be very divided.
It is, and I think the issue with immigration is people love to stick to the headlines. They love the rhetoric, and they're lazy. They don't really research what immigration is. They just think, oh my God, every immigrant is a criminal. End of story. But we can't have a real balanced debate about immigration if we don't really take into account what we do. The people that we represent, the scientists, the actors, the athletes, entertainers, the business people, the technology experts.
Sure.
That is part of the immigration debate. So it's a very hypocritical angle that people take when they talk about immigration, really just pointing the finger and saying they're all criminals.
I think we forget as well, I mean, what is America about? Bring us your tired, your poor, your masses. Everyone's an immigrant from
Yeah.
somewhere, and we can't forget that.
I
We
think
can't
that's
close
true.
our borders.
It's
And-
true, but I think that we're living in a time where people forget about that. And I think it's the work that Graylaw does and, California law firm, what we do is, if we can change one person's mind, it's important. Because I think we've talked about this before. When you say Salma Hayek, oh no, she's not an immigrant. She's just a famous person.
Right,
Or Antonio
right,
Banderas. Oh,
right,
no,
right.
no. Or Justin Bieber. No, he's just an
They get a
international
pass,
pop
right?
star.
I mean, James
These are
Cameron.
exceptions.
Exactly.
Very rare exceptions.
Canada, Melissa
Yeah,
McCarthy,
yeah,
Charlize
James
Theron,
Cameron.
just name it. And that is what I mean about our immigration debate being unbalanced and being hypocritical. Because if we're not willing to bring them into the debate, then let's not have an immigration debate.
Absolutely. And what about the EB5 visas?
Oh.
What negativity on bringing money to the U.S. and creating jobs?
That's what
That's all
they
the
do.
EB5 is about. And we
But
do,
again,
we do it
people-
well.
Yeah, but I
We
think
do it
that
well.
you do, and what you do is that you're contributing, your clients, your EB5 clients that Graylaw has, are contributing to the economy. And what people like to hang on is, again, the rhetoric. They're buying a green card. No, they're not doing that. How hard is it to get a green card through an EB-5 petition? You have to go through criteria and the processing, and people are still willing to invest money into this country.
Absolutely.
Why? Because they love this country, and if they get a green card, fantastic. But they can't just simply pull the money away. And again, it's the misconception. People do not really want to have a real balanced immigration debate because they don't want to be faced with the facts that immigration's tough, and it's a really tough system to bring people over here, and it works.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about O1s and EB1s, and no one better than our senior attorney, Courtney Morgan. You want to give us a little brief overview of O1s and EB1s, and then we're going to do something a little fun.
Okay.
We're going to pretend that this extraordinary ability individual, Cristina, is a foreigner. She's an alien,
I'm from
and she
Colombia.
just came to the U.S., and we're going to figure out if she qualifies. How's that?
That sounds like a good time to me. I just want to, before we start, I just want to welcome you back to Graylaw. It's so nice to have you here. I have admired Cristina since I was a file clerk and Cristina was studying for the bar. I remember her back in the office studying away with all of those enormous books, and I thought, I want to do that. And during the 10 years now that I've been practicing, Christina's been a mentor and a friend, and I really do appreciate it. And so glad that you're back with us, even if it's just for an afternoon.
No, I'll come back now.
As for the O1s and the EB1s, when people think about those visa categories, they think about Academy Award winners, Grammy Award winners. And, if you have one of those, it's a slam dunk. If you have an Emmy, it's a slam dunk. And if you're an athlete, in the major league and you are selected as an all-star, again, a slam dunk or a home run or whatever it is. But there are 10 criteria, and the awards is just one of those criteria. So you only have to satisfy 3 of the 10 criteria, and you are a person of extraordinary ability according to immigration. So you don't need to have one of those major awards. You can satisfy the categories in other ways. In terms of having a petitioner for the non-immigrant category, the O1 category, you do need a petitioner. It can be the company that you're working for. It can be an agent. And so there are a lot of different ways to satisfy that criteria as well. And for the EB1, you can petition for yourself. You don't need to have a separate petitioner. So that's the good news there. So it's not just the Grammy Award winners, the Academy Award winners, the Emmy Award winners. We have successfully obtained visas for hairstylists, for snowboarders, for
Extraordinary business people. People forget the business category.
DJs, yeah. Snowboarding instructors. I mean, it runs the gamut. So don't think
we're
that
doing YouTube stars now.
YouTube stars. We've done several YouTube stars. So, don't count yourself out. Come talk to us, and we'll let you know if you qualify. Nina.
Yeah.
I think that you might qualify for a visa.
Maybe.
I don't know. Have you won any awards?
I have. But I think one thing that's so important that you said, Courtney, is that the arts is such a great catch-all that you could really put a lot of really incredible, extraordinary people, because arts today is defined by so much more.
Sure.
Journalists,
Absolutely.
different types of unique artists,
Right.
Architects.
Yeah, I think that's and the funnest part of doing the O1s are not the ones with the awards, but are the ones that have a lot of stuff. But how do you put them under the categories? So I think that's
Absolutely,
great.
and narrowly define that category so they become the experts in the field and extraordinary.
Exactly.
That's a trick that we often use. I'm sure you've become very good at that
Yes.
and getting these approved. So, for our viewers, basically 3 requirements for the O1, correct? You need a petitioner, which is usually a manager or an agent. You need to prove extraordinary ability. This is the criteria that we talked about. And then you need contracts
A
for
job offer.
employment to do work. On the EB1 side, which is for the green card, you need basically to prove that you're extraordinary. You don't need a job offer. And so that's a great category. You can premium process it. You can get an approval in 15 days. 6 months thereafter get a green card. So it's a category that a lot of immigration attorneys don't use. They often forget it, and I think we've utilized it tremendously, and it's been a benefit.
Yeah.
So 1 time, 2 time, 3 time Emmy winner, slam dunk for the
Slam dunk.
correct? And of
Yeah.
course, all your published articles and materials.
Yeah, I think that's part of, but I think that those cases, that fact scenario would be easy to get an EB1 or an O1 for somebody. But, quite honestly, I think the adjudication of USCIS is going to get tougher. I have, and I know I always call and I run things through you. I've had requests for additional information, which are called RFEs from the government, where they kind of are not 100% convinced that of the criteria you're submitting for your client. And they'll question you. I had a client who had received a Grammy, but because he was part of a group, they didn't think he was extraordinary because the Grammy went to the group, not to him. So sometimes you're going to get, you're going to be faced with really ridiculous questioning from the government. And I think another thing that I am seeing is that people really try to do this on their own. They try to do the O1, the EB1 on their phone. They think it's just really a checklist of things. They go online, oh, I can do this, and then they come to you and say, I didn't get this approved. How could this be? There's an art to it. It's more than just
Absolutely.
filling out a form. It's more than just meeting requirements. It's an art. It's how you submit the application.
And I'm sure you got that Grammy Award-winning group.
Of course
An
I did.
individual with a green card.
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah.
Larissa, so Larissa, our attorney from Dominican Republic, you recently were sworn in with one of our clients, Ziggy Marley,
Fun.
who is also an
I feel like about
EB1
9.
recipient. Tell us what it was like.
I mean, it was already exciting and amazing to become a citizen and to go through that whole process. And to do that with Ziggy, which, I've been exchanging emails and phone calls and finally actually meeting him. And I'm like, by the way, I'm the one, that you've been, exchanging information with. So his wife was there too. Immigration Services was really accommodating and they saved him the front seats.
You mean they gave us special treatment?
Well, yes. And guess what? I got to tag along. And
We'll keep that one
enjoy
quiet. We'll keep that one quiet.
Yes.
Okay.
But, at the very end, once we got our certificates, he was really nice. He took pictures with the staff and with some of the people that were swearing in, including me. Thank you very much. I keep showing that picture to everybody. Do you know who that is? Do you? Anyway, so yes, I mean, it was really special. I mean, since I got here in 2006, it's been a long journey. What's the best way, to actually go and accomplish that last step? I think that if I could do it all over again, I would definitely pick from our, client, Z. So yes, it was
Aren't they
amazing.
lovely? He and his wife, Orly, are so lovely.
Orly, she's so
Isn't she
amazing.
great?
She's so nice. And they are so nice together. It's just, like you see him as a star and, as an artist. And you kind of forget that he has a life just like everybody else.
He's so humble.
And I
He's
think
so humble, and the complicity between them, you can see it. They understand each other so well. And to see that, and I'm like, oh my God,
I think
he's
what,
a human being.
and I think what immigration does when you're going through the process of immigration, it really strips down people to who they really are. It doesn't matter if you're a famous, internationally known singer. For them, this is important. This is their life, their livelihood. And for me, I always love how I feel when I see a client get a green card or a client get their citizenship. It's the common bond that all of our clients have.
It's an emotional journey,
Right.
I'll tell you that, for sure.
So our executive assistant, Jennifer, who's at our front desk, and so oftentimes, I'm sure you have the same in your office, Cristina, we have these famous people coming in the office. How do you treat them? Do they get special treatment? Do they get the same treatment?
Well, it's like Cristina, been at our office, worked here, and you come back and it's family. And it's the same thing when people come in and the calls and so forth, because it's family, and so they all get the family treatment. It's nobody, it's nobody that's, excluded. It's always a family atmosphere, and hopefully they feel that way just as much as we do.
That's great. And Karen, what about our super accountant, money guru? How do we work on billing, let's say, production companies? Because we're dealing, for example, with one of our clients, the Weinstein Company, or CAA, some of these big companies
Right.
that represent these extraordinary ability artists. How's the billing? How do we get
Well,
our money?
We can accommodate whatever billing they prefer. We can do wire transfers, we have an online system. A lot of production companies, especially within the Weinstein Corporation, they have a different production company for different productions.
Mhm.
And so they'll
Right.
often cut us checks, and it's on a time frame, and we'll work with them. But I
Right.
can provide, we speak with people directly, even some of the most famous people who are pulling their credit card out of their wallet and giving it to us over the phone. But we're also very sophisticated to international wire transfers and working with business management people.
And we need payment quickly, right? Because all of these visas, they
Yes.
want the visas yesterday.
Yes.
They give us a short period of time to produce, and we need filing fees, and we need our attorney fees, so we have a really good method of getting payment quickly.
Absolutely.
And
we'll-
efficiently.
And efficiently, and I'll work with everybody and streamline it the way they want, the way their business works.
So our tech guru, my little brother Lloyd, so our website, we post a lot of famous artists. What do you see in terms of getting authorization from these individuals to be able to use their likeness and their image?
Most of the time they're very open, actually. I mean, we reach out, and what surprises me a lot of the time is how humble they are. Like people like Ziggy and John Anderson. Some of those people, when you speak to them, it's like when you get their piece for the blog or whatever, they're not talking about plug my next movie or things like that. It's something really heartfelt, like Cristina said. It's something that changes their life. So they're really open to letting us know more of their journey, as opposed to, oh, I've done this, these are my accolades and things like that. So, I mean, I enjoy it a lot, just hearing, the background story of some of these people and being able to share it on the website.
And these days, no one's taking it for granted. We had an Academy Award nominated actress who, during the short period of time that the ban was in place, couldn't enter to complete a film, and they hired somebody else. So everybody knows more than ever that this is something to cherish, really.
Yeah, I think for those immigrants who have their green card now, who have a platform or are famous in some way or well known in whether it's science, medicine, or arts, as I said, this is a platform for them to kind of stand up for any other immigrant, because people will listen to them. They're not going to listen to
Yes.
my nanny, who's been a green card holder for 17 years and is afraid to become a citizen. They're going to listen to the Ziggy Marleys of the world. They're going to listen to the professional athletes of the world, the actresses who have been nominated. They're the ones who can change the momentum of where the immigration argument is going, and I hope they do. It's kind of like it's a call for them to do it now.
Well, I am so happy that you're continuing your law practice in immigration law, fighting the fight, helping us bring immigrants into the U.S., and not just making a ton of money being so famous on TV. Thanks so much
You
for
know
coming.
about TV, it doesn't do that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Thanks so much for
Thank you
coming
so
and being
much.
with
Love
us
you
for a
guys.
segment.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Thank
We
you.
love you too. All right. That's a wrap.
All right.